So I want to hear from each of you on this next question. And please listen carefully to the wording of the question if you don't mind. What is the one emotion you feel the most when you see President Trump on TV or on your device? I'm not asking what emotion he's displaying, whether he looks happy or he looks sad. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, what emotion does he evoke in you when you see him on TV or on your device? In other words, fill in the blank. When I see President Trump on TV, I feel fill in that blank. Okay? I'm looking for a word or a phrase that does that. Everybody have one in mind?
Mhm.
Hang on a second. Sure. Does everybody have one? I see two people looking like they're still thinking. Yeah. Maria, do you have one?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's right. Go ahead.
I would say strong.
He makes you feel strong?
I looking at him, I feel like he's a strong
No, 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 no,
figure.
no. No. When you see him looking strong, how do you feel? That's what I'm
How
asking.
do I feel? I
What
feel
emotion? What emotion? When I see President Trump on TV, I feel what?
oh, uh, we're no longer I don't feel like we're a joke. I don't feel
No, I'm sorry,
fool.
Maria. Maria, I'm really pushing. Maria, I'm sorry. I'm really pushing on this. What emotion do you feel when you see him on TV or on your device?
I don't really have an emotion. I just feel like glad, I guess. I don't know.
That's totally fine. I was just looking for how you feel. That's what I'm really trying to get at here. So thank you for letting me push you. I don't mean to be difficult.
No, no, you're good.
Okay, Oscar, go ahead.
I feel like God, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I feel like I believe what he's saying. I mean, I like
What emotion are you feeling?
I feel like sort of like satisfaction or something like that. Like something's like what he says is gonna get done, like
Got it.
whatever, like action, yeah.
Got it. Great. Jennifer.
I feel confused.
Okay. William.
At ease.
All right. Hector. We muted because we were getting some background noise. Our apologies.
No worries. Relief.
Okay. Irma.
Gratefulness and pride.
Justin.
Betrayal.
All right. So all of you voted for President Trump in the last election, as we discussed. And I'm going to call on you one at a time. And this time I want to understand briefly why you chose him over Kamala Harris. Now, for some of you, you sort of explained this already. So I got it from Oscar, Jennifer, and Maria. But for the other four of you, explain this to me a little bit. William, why did you vote for President Trump in the last election?
His ability to run things, his operational skills are way superior than Harris's were.
Okay. Irma?
He's a smart businessman and he wants for America to succeed.
Okay. Hector? And again, you're muted. I'm sorry.
Okay. He's a workhorse. The guy, I don't know where he gets his energy, but he's constantly working and he's constantly doing new things. And he had the economy humming in 2020, and he's just got it back on track already. And he's only been in office for a couple months. So,
Okay. And Justin?
The lesser of all the evils, I guess you'd say. I mean, you have a bunch of absolute garbage candidates in a fishbowl, which is the least garbage. I mean, just to be honest with it, out of all of everything, plus of the fact that Kamala, you just look at the track record that she had with Biden. It was just why would you want to continue going on that direction? I personally didn't want to. That was just a dumpster fire from the beginning.
Okay. So I'd like to give you a moment to think about the next question before you answer it. And I'll call on you again. What question would you ask President Trump if you had the chance and you could ask him anything? Just think for a second. What question you would ask him if you could ask him any question at all? Ever have one? Don't overthink it. Just
Hmm.
Irma, do you have the germ of a question?
Probably, can you please keep going with the immigration, get them out of here?
Okay. Justin?
What the hell happened to the peace in the Middle East and ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict day one? Why are you still sending money over to them?
Okay. William?
What was the catalyst that set you on your path to success?
Okay. Maria?
That's a hard question. The only thing I can think of is, do you feel any regret for being foolish or acting like a fool when you first ran?
Okay. Hector?
What's going on with the Epstein files?
Okay. Jennifer?
Why do we have to rename the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America?
And Oscar?
He doesn't always say the right things, so maybe like be more cautious with his words, maybe.
Okay. Do you want to know why he's not cautious? Is that what you mean?
Just to be more cautious with his words, maybe.
Yeah, that's sort of a request. What question would you ask him that something you'd want to know?
Oh, does he think before he speaks?
Okay, got it. So I'd like to know whether on balance, you approve or disapprove of what the new administration has done since it took over in January. Okay. Looking at the totality of what they've done over the last 5 months, whether you approve or disapprove. So by a show of fingers, who approves? Six of you do, all but Justin. Justin, you disapprove? Okay. Jennifer, why do you approve?
I approve that things are getting done with this administration versus the Biden administration. Do I agree with everything? If it's correct, no, but some of it's heading in the right direction, like some of the illegal immigration, some of with RFK, like in the direction of eliminating like food red dyes, getting things like healthier for food. So I feel like those things are going in the right direction.
Okay. Maria, why do you approve?
I will say Jennifer was spot on, especially with the food. Change is happening. I do like how he's just quickly just changed the whole wokeness. Like enough with this, enough with that. It's, we're not overthinking anything of the silliness. And the immigration, what's he doing? He's actually keeping a lot of his promises from what he said, and he's doing it. So I approve.
Okay. Irma, what do you approve?
He finally closed the border, or someone finally closed the border. He's trying to stop the separation of men or women competing in the opposite sex sports. So women should compete against women and men should compete against men. So that's two of the things that I really admire on that.
Okay. William, why do you approve?
I like the direction we're headed in. I know it's just the beginning, but we got to give it time. And it seems like the path that we're on over time, it's going to be beneficial for everyone.
Okay. Hector?
I'm going to say it's because of tariffs. I think that it's ridiculous that we haven't been charging tariffs for decades, and we're starting to equalize it. We're up to $8 billion a day just on tariffs alone, and we need whatever help we can get when it comes to the deficit.
Okay. Oscar?
I like the tariffs. I like a lot of what Maria said. I like the stuff with the boys and the girls playing sports. Because I coach softball and I play baseball, and my daughter plays softball. So it's like, it's totally unfair for boys to play in girl sports. So a lot of the things he said he was doing, he said he was going to do, he's doing it. And that means a lot to me because a lot of politicians talk a lot of stuff and they don't do anything.
Okay. Justin, what about you?
Why disapprove?
Yep.
Again, where did all this go with day one? We end the war with Russia, Ukraine type of stuff, broker a peace deal. You're still sending money over there, still sending arms, infantry. Here we go into Iran, everything else. Oh, we won't get involved with that conflict today. He just came out saying, yeah, maybe we'll need to get involved with that conflict. He is completely the opposite of what he was in 2016. I love that 2016 energy, drain the swamp, everything else, but this guy is bought and paid for. He won't get another term anyway. He can only be 2 terms as president. What he got left to lose. Also, about the AI centralization of powers through his own private company and his buddies with Palantir and all that type of stuff. He basically wrote in us a couple of weeks ago that they cannot, states are not allowed to individually regulate anything for 10 years in regards to AI. It all comes at a federal level, siphoned through Palantir. I'll have to give it to him, though. He is a good master of distraction. Look over here. What are we doing over here? And it's like nobody pays attention over here. So that's why he's this complete antithesis of what he was in 2016.
Okay. So knowing what you now know, how many of you would not vote for Trump if you could do it over? Justin, one of you. So you'd vote for Harris?
No, my heart broke when RFK backed out and backed up Trump. The only good thing about this is that he's actually a part of the administration. So I mean that's where where would I go to? I would vote for a third party candidate.
Yeah. I want to hear from each of you on this next question. And listen carefully, if you would, to the wording of the question. What is the one emotion that you feel the most when you see President Trump on TV or on your device? Now, note how I'm asking the question. I'm not asking whether he looks happy or he looks sad. What I'm asking instead is, what emotion does he evoke in you when you see him on TV or on your device? Does that make sense? In other words, fill in the blank. When I see President Trump on TV, I feel, give me an emotion that you feel when you see him. Okay? Everybody understand what I'm asking for? Okay. Everybody has one? Okay. Rosalind, I was asking, what emotion do you feel when you see Trump on TV or on your device? How does he make you feel? Okay. So David, why don't you go first?
Does it have to be only one?
Yeah, just with the main one.
I guess I feel good.
Okay. Connie,
Sympathy.
you feel sympathy toward him.
Yes.
Okay. Ruby.
I feel hopeful.
Okay. Mariana.
I feel trust, like I can trust what's happening.
Okay. Zachary.
Relieved.
Okay. And Rosalind.
I'd say pride, being
Okay.
proud.
All right. And Rosalind, I didn't get this while you were offline for a minute there. Are you a Democrat, Republican, or an independent?
I'd say I'm more independent.
Okay. Got it. Great. So all of you voted for President Trump, as we talked about in last November's election. I want to call on you one at a time, and I just want to know briefly why you chose him in November over Kamala Harris. Zachary, why did you choose Trump over Harris?
Immigration, inflation, unemployment, and trade.
Okay. You thought he would do a better job with it?
Yes.
Okay. Ruby?
The economy and immigration.
Okay. Connie?
Economy, immigration, and she didn't offer anything different than the previous administration.
Okay. David?
I think she was kind of clueless and not a leader.
All right. Rosalind?
I liked how he projected strength for our country, immigration policy, putting Americans first, and protecting children.
Okay. And Mariana?
Yeah, I chose for inflation and then just American pride.
Okay. Thank you. Next question, I'm going to ask you to think about this for a second. And I'll call on you again. What question would you ask President Trump if you had the chance? And you could ask him anything. Hang on a second. I just want to. Does everybody have one?
But by the way,
Hang on a second. I want to make sure everybody has one before people start offering theirs. Does everybody have one?
Well,
who needs an extra second to think of it? Okay, Mariana, think a little faster. And don't overthink it. You got one? Okay, why don't you go first?
You put me on the spot. I'll probably ask him what he's doing to target kind of all the pedophile news with Hollywood and all of that, because I've just been curious about that with the Epstein case and all of that.
Okay, so what he's going to do about the pedophile news coming out of Hollywood? Is that what you said? Okay.
Like with the trials against pedophiles, like the Epstein case and all the PDD and like all of that. Like we need more.
Okay, got it. Zachary?
I would ask him whether or not he's going to intervene in the Iranian-Israeli war.
Okay. Ruby?
I would ask him, why is he cutting the budget on the most vulnerable citizens, like the elderly and the disabled? Why is that plan? Why not cut from something else when those are programs that are needed?
Okay. Connie?
I would ask him, how does he manage to continue leading with so many people against him in the government?
Okay. David?
Well, and what I was going to ask was, is this a question in public or in private for him?
In private.
Okay, I would ask him, what are you planning to do about the national debt?
Okay. Rosalind?
I would ask him just how far he's willing to go with all the things going on abroad, whether it be Iran or Ukraine.
Okay. Got it. So I'd like to know whether on balance, looking at everything overall, you approve or disapprove of what the new administration has done since it took over in January. Okay, so looking at the totality of everything done so far, on balance, do you approve or disapprove? Show of fingers, who approves? 5 of you do. Who disapproves? Ruby, 1. Okay. Connie, why do you approve?
Well, first of all, I like what he's done with border crossings. I like the fact that he is focusing on the United States and trying to create sources of energy for us rather than buying it from somewhere else. And I like the fact that the economy is showing improvement, inflation under his leadership.
Okay, got it. Zachary, what about you?
I like that he's working to secure the border, working to crack down on illegal labor, which reduces wages. I like his moves on trying to rebuild America's industrial capacity with tariffs.
Okay. Ariana.
I like how inflation is going and where it's headed, and the cuts that he made, like the tax cuts in pointless things that were being budgeted for. I think some of those cuts are very beneficial.
Okay. Rosalind?
I love the closed border. I love the crackdown on criminals, protecting us in our own country. I love the strength he's projecting to countries abroad to try and protect us from outside danger. I love what he's doing for women's sports. I love what he's doing for children, protecting them. And I love the separation that he's putting for us being independent from China.
Okay. When you say he's protecting children, how is he protecting children exactly?
With the trans mutilation.
Got it. Okay, thank you. David, why do you approve?
I like that he's keeping his promises and he's doing what he said he was going to do. During the campaign, he said a number of things that I thought, oh, this might not be popular and this might be rhetoric, but to my surprise, even if apparently some of the things are not that popular, he's still sticking on to them. So I really like that.
Okay. And Ruby, tell me why you disapprove.
I don't like the fact that he's cutting budgets on places where it's not really where it should be. And I don't like the fact that the deportations were what he was promised, what he was going to deport people that were criminals and have backgrounds. But I see that he's deporting people that are work hard and that been in this country, that I think that he should find a way to help them stay and get a citizenship or something, but deport. I do agree that he should deport the people that have backgrounds, the criminals, because we had a lot of influx of bad people, but I don't agree deporting just the common workers.
Okay. So knowing what you know now, how many of you would not vote for Trump if you had to do it over? So Ruby, you would vote for him again if you had to do it over?
I'm thinking. I think I will not.
You would not?
No.
Okay. So you'd vote for Harris?
No. Not
What would you do?
Another candidate, hopefully.
Like a third party candidate, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay.